Hi, John Asen, Director of Instruction, once again down at 3D Golf Performance. We're really talking about how to move the shaft on plane and in line during the stroke. And we've gotten to a point now where we're at the top of the backswing at a critical stage of the swing, which is called our transition. This is where the golf shaft moves from traveling back to starting down. And this is really important to understand, and we call it basically step 3 to 4. So we've talked a lot about the alignment of the shaft to the left hinge pin, the shaft to the body to start with. We've talked about pressure points, heel pad pressure on the left hand to initiate and stay engaged. We've talked about 1 to 2 and really trying to feel how my lower body gets a step-in position here where the right hip pulls back and I feel very connected to the ground. So now I can keep my lower body in a very stable position to allow the upper body to simply move on its own through the cocking of the shoulders, and that will come via the palm pressure upward and upward, upward and upward on my left thumb. So I'm just pushing up. And what's necessary here is that I get that position so I can go up. And when I'm already turned and rotated from 1 to 2 here, I don't feel like going around like a lot of golfers do, around and then back around. I feel like I'm in plenty, and now I have one option, and that is to go up. And that's where the cocking of the shoulders takes place. And it's very important to recognize that these steps are going to be done over a period of a month. They're not going to be done in a one-lesson program. They're going to be done over several weeks. They're going to be done with the golf ball. They're going to be done with club only. And sometimes we even have some drills that we use where we don't use any club or any arms in the drills. So there's lots of variations to the drills that you'll use to emphasize the new feelings that you're going to have. So basically from down the line, we've gone through the steps here, and I'm going to take you right up into from 2 to 3 here. Your start down, when the golf club gets stopped from going backwards and starts down, the easiest thing to understand is that you've just finished pushing with the heel of your right hand, so continue to push with the heel of your right hand. So pressure point number 2 is used to control the motion. And all I'm doing is when I stop the club and push it back, 2 things happen. One is when the club head gets stopped from going in one direction and start down the other, the mass of the club head lags this way. It falls. It's just geometry and physics. Naturally happens. You don't have to make it happen. And that engages pressure point number 3. That is your base knuckle of your right hand. So we're really starting to engage all of the pressure points. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, I stop the shaft and I push it back down. And when that occurs, the weight of the club goes back into number 3 a little bit. And that pushing down of number 2 to push my arm that way, better to look at it face on now. 2 to 3, 3 to 4 looks like this. Now what am I doing? Well, once that gets pushed back down like that to low point where my hands are, then you can see how it's also pushed my tailbone towards the target along with my weight. It's also pushed my left shoulder up and back towards my head. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So the pushing of my left shoulder, that's my center of the circle, is pressure point number 4. So now I've got all 4 pressure points fully understood and engaged and where their main role is in the golf swing. I have to say that during the backswing, however, number 4 is a connection that is linked the alignment of the golf shaft via my left wrist hinge pin here to my body. So I've connected it right away as well. And from 1 to 2, you can see how number 4 is really working. But it's not something we think about during the swing whatsoever. It just happens. I'm just connecting them. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and then again as it goes from 2 to 3 and I stop the club from traveling back and start it down, the mass of the club head will naturally fall into my base knuckle. And that creates more lag. The lag is also created by my hands going down, creating an axis tilt, and now I can carry these angles across to my left side. So this incredible torque that I built up between my upper body and my lower body gets carried over, and then the entire radius unwinds at impact and all the alignments come back into line. That's where we get twice the power for half the effort. It's a wonderful feeling. But golfers that struggle throw those alignments out and the body gets thrown out, and so all of a sudden you have no torque left between the upper and lower bodies as you're hitting the ball. So it's all arms and arm speed and some hand speed. You're not able to use the effectiveness of that torque that's built up in your backswing, along with all the angles that you obviously create for velocity. So really key that you understand the 3 to 4 is the hands pushing down. Number 2, pressure point pushing down, pushes the tailbone across, drives the left shoulder up and back towards my head, and gives me lag and maintains the torque between my upper and lower body, because I'm just carrying the angles across, and then I have all this heavy power to bring back into line at impact from 4 to 5. So the drill would be a little bit of a pump drill to try it, and it's 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 once, twice, and then let it go. So you might not hit a ball at all with this drill. You might use a shortened club, or simply put your hands 3/4 of the way down your grip. And this way you're going to be developing a really good feel for the mechanics in the golf swing to control the shaft and give you incredible impact conditions. So try that, good luck, and remember, enjoy that hit.